Energy fields. Energy field is simply a term coined to identify one of the phenomena of human experience. This paper is not meant to be a scholarly treatise nor a deep inspection, but simply an identification so we can all get a common idea of what we're talking about. Any name would serve as well, it's just that we have chosen this one to run with. Everything about humanity is energy sourced. Even the physical matrix of the body is comprised of energy vibrating at different atomic and molecular rates. These differences of vibration prevent various particles merging into mixed up soup and gives an impression of solidity by keeping various different structures apart. Which is why we have some difficulty when we try to drive our car through a concrete wall. We notice that when this vibration matrix is interfered with in certain ways, the energies released gives us an atomic hydrogen or cobalt bomb, and the resultant radiation, that's loose particles interfering with each other in an uncontrolled manner, can take 20,000 years or so to settle down. Dramatic stuff for those who get their rocks off on that sort of thing. Having made this point, we shall leave further dissertation to the quantum physicist and concern ourselves here with the everyman's version, as we have more relevant matters to move on to. On the mental side, human emotions are also energies vibrating at different rates, each to its own characteristic, and who amongst us has not known the power that these have to affect the processes of thought and behaviour? One can postulate and experience serenity at the top of the ladder as being a very fine, light wavelength, whilst apathy at the bottom is a thick, slow-moving, gluggy sludge approaching the solidity of death, having many characteristics of the solid matter of the physical plane. In between lie the many shades of grey, which may be seen as white at the top to deepest black at the bottom. In the area popularly referred to as spiritual, that is a general term used to identify anything not covered by concepts of physical and mental, we have very fine wavelengths indeed, including amongst others the aesthetic, that is the creative or artistic wave bands. The spiritual does not accord to many of the rules and restrictions of the physical and mental, but far exceeds them in a number of unique areas, being a relevant subject for later study. Combinations of these three states, physical, mental and spiritual, interacting off each other, comprise the package of the human condition. Incongruities or disruptions, either with these energies or with the interactions between them, comprise what we refer to as caseload, or alternatively, energy fields. Though everything, positive and negative, is energy, the negatives can be considered to be a disruptive or incongruent form. When we refer to energy fields, we presuppose the negative components. To be in an energy field means to be surrounded by an aura of negative componentry. When a person says, "I'm in an energy field," he is speaking the literal truth, experiencing a surrounding and submergence to some degree of his or her more positive aspects. Other terms relating to other aspects of this condition are off-platform, unbalanced, and off-purpose, being so self-explanatory as to need little further inspection. Energy fields can be either light to the point of being easily ignored, right through to complete takeover of the individual. Road rage or homicidal mania are good takeover examples. Personality shifts caused by energy fields have often been mistaken for all manner of misidentifications. A popular one is demonic possession, another is schizophrenia, or multiple personality disorder. Though these have certain validities, they come from far too confined a view of what are only minor characteristics, regardless of how dramatic they may seem, of a much more embracive problem. Energy fields have even been granted the status of sentient beings in their own right, in the forms of demon, alien, spirit, or angelic possession, as they exhibit characteristics of the individual not normally to view, displaying many of the characteristics of sentience. Though negative, energy fields are not always uncomfortable. In fact, the worst ones in terms of controlling or affecting aberrant behaviours are in fact seductive and pleasant. We seek release from the uncomfortable, but willingly embrace the entertaining, amusing, energetic, or attractive. Thus, sexual compulsion or promiscuity is actually an energy field that those under it have no intention of giving away. Likewise, alcoholism and drug addiction. Even love itself is not always as positive as it appears. If coming from compulsion, no matter how attractive, we are in fact dealing with an energy field. This is a problem, as unless the person really wants to free out, regardless of what he tells you, we find ourselves working in opposition to the being himself with all his intention to hold on. When a sexual turn-on or other out-of-control compulsion hits, one is actually being jerked around by an energy field. Religious euphoria is a good example, as witness the out-of-their-mind behaviours evidenced within certain evangelical or cultist congregations. We can also be invaded, that's influenced and controlled, by other people's energy fields, as in cases of mass hysteria, mob violence, or ideological fervour. Ever been in the presence of a domineering person and felt yourself sliding down in the face of their aggressive energy? Or felt yourself swept away in the fervour of a charismatic revivalist meeting? Without realising it, we do a buy-in on the energy field, and now it is ours to contend with. More about these matters in a later paper. The act of clearing, call it counselling or whatever, is the study and practice of handling to the point of management the many aspects and facets of energy fields throughout the various levels or strata as mentioned above, both for oneself and others. Now we have a rudimentary comprehension of the terminology. We are poised for further explorations and applications that may arise from those understandings. There is a fair way yet to go to reach a point of high competence, with a trap or two and a wee tad of knowledge to surmount on the way. So in the meantime, learn and enjoy as we continue to walk together through some very interesting personal scenery.